In this video, I'm going to go into this pawn shop and spend about $700 on smartphones. And then we're going to explore those smartphones and see if the $700 I spent was worth it. Pawn shops are interesting places. You've probably seen Pawn Stars. You can go into a pawn shop and either sell one of your items, like someone did with all these video games, or if you're tight on cash and you need to take a loan, you could give the pawn shop your item, and they will give you a cash loan based on the value of that item. The downside to that is if you don't pay the money back to the pawn shop, they get to keep the item that you used as collateral. And if you want the item back, you're gonna have to buy it full price from the pawn shop. So all these laptops here, they were either sold or they were obtained from the pawn shop because someone took a loan and never paid it back. One of the smartphones I buy in this video, the pawn shop had because the person who borrowed money from the pawn shop, they never paid that money back. Pawn shops are an interesting place. All right, let's go look at the cell phones.
How are you? Good. How can I help you? Just looking at some phones. Do they charge? Could you turn it on for me? Each of those for me?
Let's see.
It's a S23 and what's that bottom one?
I think they're both the S23s.
Okay.
I stopped recording because over the course of 30 minutes, I looked and tinkered with the phones and I asked him if I bought 5 of them if he could give me a discount. And he did. I got 5 phones for about $700, which is way too much, I think. But there is one smartphone in here, the one with an orange sticker, that makes the entire lot worth it. And it's got a weird, kind of a cool story. So we're gonna dig into these phones and see what I got. Now, you might be asking, why did you spend $700 on these? Just like most businesses, if you purchase in bulk, they'll give you more discount. And so in order to get a lower price on all of this, I spent more money. Plus, this will make an entertaining video, and I could make separate videos for every single phone in this lot. So as you can see here, this says sold for parts, locked. There's a whole story to this thing, but they're selling it at a discount because it's locked. I'll get into that later in the video. But I'm really excited for this Xperia phone because it's a bit of a flashback from a phone I had previously. And if you guys like the video so far, join the Discord. It's down in the pinned comment and in the description. But let's get started with this phone right here. The Galaxy A52. This is a 2021 mid-range smartphone. They were selling it for $130. He discounted it to $90 for me, and if it was in good condition, that would be awesome, but as you're about to see, it's not. By the way, these have a Snapdragon 720G chipset, so they're like perfect for Call of Duty and PUBG gaming. He also told me they're trying to sell it on Facebook, and it's locked to Xfinity, so that kinda sucks. Now, as I was going through the phone, I noticed this right here. It is a microchip, like a hairline crack right here. Not a huge deal, but enough to have to replace the screen because that will spread. Anyways, the phone is really snappy. It's also IP67 water and dust resistant, which is pretty rad for a mid-range smartphone. And like, this phone will still receive updates all the way to 2025. So you could totally use this today. And for like $100 off eBay, not a bad option. It's also got a 64 megapixel back camera. What? Not bad. If you've ever used an A52 or maybe you're watching this video on an A52, comment below. I'm curious. Oh, there's more bad news. The screen, it's got such horrible screen burn. You see that in the background on a white screen, how there's like a burnt in keyboard. When it's this severe, you can't fix it. You just got to replace the screen. So it is what it is. But hey, at least it's got 128 gigabytes and I'll be able to make a cool video about this phone in the future. So be sure to subscribe so you guys will see that. Well, $90 for this one, I think I lost, but don't worry, it gets better. Stay tuned. I promise it gets better, guys. Goodbye for now, A52. We will see you very soon. Toodles. If you want to see anything specific on the A52, be sure to comment below. But the next up is the A53, the big brother of the A52. Now, the pawn shop was selling this for $190, and they sold it to me for $140 and some change, so it's okay. And if you look at the date, they got it around the same time as the A52, so I bet they got it in a pair or something similar. Now, back in 2022 when these were released, they were selling for $450 brand new. And nowadays, you could find these for like $130 on eBay refurbished. So I'm not horrible, but I overpaid by like 15 to 20 bucks. Of course, it's got a USB-C type charge port and a 64 megapixel back camera with an ultra wide lens. Ugh, this one's locked to Xfinity Mobile. I wonder if I could change that. Probably not. 2 Xfinity phones, huh? I wonder if I reset these or something, if I could like remove the carrier lock, I don't know. But this A53, it's running Android 13 and it's got an Exynos 1280 chipset, which is pretty freaking good for mid-range gaming, and 128 gigabytes of internal storage, not horrible. same as the A52. This is probably a couple who sold these phones to the pawn shop. I've got some fun videos in mind, but once I make those videos, I'll probably give one of these to my dad. Oh, and you gotta love this. It's got expandable storage. Hey, up to a full terabyte of expandable storage. No complaints from me. I'm gonna pop a non-Xfinity mobile SIM card into this and see if I can get service. If I can, I'm for sure gonna gift this to my dad once I make a video. Good stuff. 140 bucks and change, not bad, not bad. If you guys want one, you could go to eBay and get it for cheaper. Like under 100 bucks if you look hard enough for an unlocked one. Which one are we gonna look at next? Got a Sony, a Samsung, a Motorola. Hey, I know you guys love Motorola. Who loves Motorola? Comment below. We're gonna take a look at the Moto G Stylus. And hey, this one was priced pretty fair. It was originally $99.99. And again, if you look at the date on this sticker, they've had this phone since like October of last year. And they sold this one to me for 70 bucks, which is actually competitive. If you look on eBay, you know, the pawn shop sold it to me a little cheaper than I could find on eBay, so not bad. Now, there is one favorite part of this phone I have. It's not this sticker, but it's why I love the Galaxy Note series so much, and it's because of the stylus. And I like the feel of this stylus because the tip is so soft. And I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but I love to doodle. I've been an artist since I was very young, similar to my dad, and I just love to draw, and the stylus allows me to do that on these phones. Do any of you guys watching use a Moto G stylus or a Galaxy Note series? This phone was released in 2022, and it's got a 50 megapixel back camera, and it's also got a macro lens, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, it works pretty well. Now, the phone does have a Snapdragon 695 5G chipset, which is pretty good, but it stopped receiving updates, so that kind of stinks. Motorola, what are you doing? You released this phone in 2022 and no Android 14? Nothing like corporate greed and planned obsolescence. Anyways, let's move to a cool phone. It's the Sony Xperia G3 223. And this guy was released in 2017, but this pawn shop trying to sell it for $120. I mean, come on, buddy. But they got the phone in April, and then they dropped the price down to $99.99 recently, and they sold it to me for 75 bucks. So other than this paper-based sticker absolutely driving me nuts, it's not a bad phone. I mean, I'm actually excited to have it just because it's such a cool Sony phone. So didn't pay $119, paid $75. They helped me out, and I'm excited to make a video of this in the future. Now, this was not a flagship device, but it had some high-resolution audio playback features, which made it ideal for audiophile type people. A lot of people like the minimal bezels, and listen to these keys. Oh, dude, I love that sound, man. I love it. Now, the processor wasn't anything special. It had a Helio P20 chipset, but the camera, it had some cool camera features. It had steady shot for image stabilization and superior auto for smarter shooting in different conditions. But the photo I just took, it looks like I took it on a potato. I'm not sure why it's not focusing, but I'll do a separate video showing some of those camera features like steady shot and superior auto. For now, I want to show you this app. It's actually kind of silly and cool. It's an AR application from 2017, and it's just fun all around. There's this girl right here who walks you through how to use it. And then you've got to like calibrate the phone essentially. So how do I move this here? What does it want me to do? Do I slide it down? Oh, okay, I move the camera. Okay, there we go. Looks like I've calibrated it. Okay, turn it side by. Oh my gosh, look at the little fairies on the table. They're so cute. Okay, I don't remember when AR became a thing, like on Snapchat and stuff, but I mean, the AR dinosaur on my desk is kind of funny. I wonder if I could pick up the dinosaur and put it on my iPhone 2G. Let's see if I could. Oh, dude. The dinosaur. Wait, where'd the dinosaur go? Oh, I love the dinosaur. And then you could do face filters, kind of like I was saying you do on Snapchat and Facebook. I think in 2017 it was becoming a thing, but for 75 bucks, I'd say it's worth it. We're gonna have some fun with this thing. I'm just glad they came down from even $99 because I don't think it was a good price. But now let's talk about the S23. They originally priced it at like $400+, but they dropped it to $249. And they had it labeled as locked for parts. And the thing is, when I was in the pawn shop, I could get into the settings of the phone. It wasn't stuck on a lock screen or anything. I could literally go into the settings and just remove the account it was locked to. Now, I did not do that in the pawn shop. I wanted to wait till I got home. But yeah, once I got home, I was able to turn the phone on, go into the settings, and literally with a few extra steps remove the account from the phone. When I asked the guy at the pawn shop why it had a lock, he told me it was because one of their most frequent customers would pawn this phone on a regular basis. The pawn shop employee said that the guy literally pawned this phone like over 15 times. Well, after one of the times he pawned it, the guy never came to pick it up, and because he never came to pick it up and never paid the money back, the phone became property of the pawn shop, and after a certain period of time, the pawn shop is allowed to sell the phone. And I checked on both Verizon and the IMEI, and this phone is good to go. It doesn't have any locks or anything like that. So yeah, it kind of stinks. Just like the bank when you take out a loan, or when you take a loan out at a pawn shop, you gotta pay him back or your property is gonna become theirs, just like the bank would. The pawn shop is technically a form of a bank. And guys, they will collect. As you can see, for now, there's no photos because I reset the phone. But oh man, I'm excited because I'm gonna record so many videos for YouTube on this thing. It's a camera upgrade for me and I'm pretty excited. It's got 256 gigabytes of storage. And I guess I got lucky because the pawn shop didn't know how to remove an account from a smartphone. The camera is freaking amazing. So I think that's pretty cool. You guys should go around and look at your pawn shop, see what they're selling, because you're totally okay to negotiate with the pawn shop owner to see if you can get a good deal. I mean, look at this phone. It's still got plastic on the bezels. This is the first time I've bought a bundle of smartphones from a pawn shop. But if you guys like this video, let me know and I'll make more. Again, this is an S23. It sells on eBay for around 380 bucks and I bought it for 249, so not bad. Now, initially I thought I spent 700 bucks, but after I've looked at all of these, I'm wrong. I paid $70 for the Moto G Stylus. Not bad for it listed at $99. For the Samsung A52, I paid $90, down from $130. Not great, but not horrible. And then for the A53, I paid $149. Don't forget the Sony Xperia, which was marked at $119, then down to $99.99, and then I got it for $75, or $70, I believe. So after taxes on all these phones, I paid like 678 bucks, and I'm excited because I'm gonna make more videos on each of these phones. And if you guys don't wanna miss out, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. I upload every single week on Saturday or Sunday. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.